Hello and welcome to another episode of MMA Patter. Today I'm going to start talking about UFC Liverpool, which is happening tomorrow night, and this promises to be a very exciting card from top to bottom. We've got lots of European talent on display on the card, and also in the main event we're going to have Stephen Wonderboy Thompson fighting against local Liverpool lad Darren Till. So let's get into the main headlines. So firstly, Darren Till didn't make weight, which is really surprising considering that he's fighting in his hometown and he's been looking for that fight, and he's been really eager to fight a really top quality opponent after he beat Cowboy in Gdansk, and now he had the opportunity. He failed to make weight, so we still need to see what happened and what's made him kind of miss the weight class. But I think there was some talk of some family issues being mentioned by the UFC representative, because I think he failed to show up for his 2 hour time slot for making weight. But it's still up in the air whether that fight is still to happen. I think there's been multiple clauses being stated, including a portion of the purse that Darren Till is to receive will be given to his opponent, Wonderboy Thompson. And I think the other clause is that Till has to be within a certain weight limit on fight day, so he can't be heavier. Because a lot of UFC fighters, I'm sure you know, when they cut weight, they cut quite a lot, so when they turn up to inside the cage, they look massively bigger than they did 24 hours before on the scales. So if this fight was still to happen, there's a few things that I'm really interested in. So firstly, with losing weight, how badly is Darren Till affected? Did he literally almost kill himself trying to make weight, even though he's got 3 pounds to go, which doesn't seem like quite a lot, but if you're losing sometimes upwards in the region of 30 pounds, that 3 pounds might feel like death. And sometimes it could well be that if you massively dehydrate yourself. Wonderboy made weight. He was on the limit at 171 pounds, bang on the limit at the welterweights. So he's probably seems on paper maybe fresher. He's probably prepared. He's gotten used to the time zone. He's even made a few rounds around Liverpool and got himself a wee Everton top with Wonderboy in the back. So he seems to be just business as usual. But with Till, he might have a really good first round and Till might end up fading after that. So we'll just need to see about that. So Wonderboy might even change up his game plan. He might be looking to just tire Till out in that first round, just get through that blitz, and then start kind of implementing his karate based attack, going through, making sure his distance is a lot bigger than what Till would expect, using lots of kicks, lots of feints, going for a blitz every so often with kind of combinations of punches and kicks, and staying off the fence, staying away from the grappling, staying away from the strengths of Darren Till. But Darren Till will be trying to go for broke. He would, I assume, be looking to get the fans' respect back again after missing weight, which is the thing that you're contractually obliged to do. Alongside fighting, you have to be within the weight class. So Darren Till, I think he's going to go for broke. He's going to really try to be aggressive, get in the face of Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, potentially looking for the takedown. You never know, he might think that Wonderboy is a lot worse on the ground in the grappling and the wrestling than he is at striking. So we'll see if he wants to use that kind of game. But then, yeah, again, it depends if this fight's still on. I really want the fight to be on. I think this has got the potential to really propel one of these guys back into the title contention, realistically. Wonderboy's coming off in a couple of losses from Tyrone Woodley. He won his last fight against Jorge Masvidal. But then this fight is really important for him. If he wins, he's going to move back up there and challenge for more kind of the bigger guys. And Darren Till, if he wins this fight, even though he missed weight, he's probably going to call out a big name, try to get on a big card somewhere, maybe like on a big UFC numbered event, pay-per-view event, somewhere in the kind of undercard basically. So it's exciting, but we'll just need to see if this event goes ahead. The other fight that I'm really looking forward to is the co-main event, which is Americans Neil Magny against British lad Craig the Thundercat White. And Craig White definitely, in my opinion, has the best nickname on the card, the Thundercat. He's coming on as a late notice replacement in this co-main event fight. Both fighters made weight, and Neil Magny is probably expected to win. The betting odds are very clearly in the favour of Neil Magny. He's 1-7, and then Craig White is 4-1. So I suppose if you're looking to make a bit of money, why not go for Craig White, put a couple of quid on and make a wee bit of money off him to win. But realistically, I want to go for Craig White to win, but this might be too short notice for him, realistically. Neil Magny is solid all round, great wrestling, great stand-up, great submissions, but not exceptional anywhere. He's got good cardio, so he might go for the Stephen Thompson approach, in my opinion. Go for kind of tire Craig White out in that first round, and then just kind of pile it on. Go for the wrestling, go for the clinching, try to avoid Craig White's submissions, try to avoid the power shots, and I think it's going to be a decision win for Neil Magny. Craig White, I think he is coming in short notice. He's going to be a fighter that's wanting to prove himself. He had a really good performance last time at Cage Warriors Cage Warriors, and he is really looking to kind of make his mark in the UFC. He's a veteran in the game. He's got 20 plus fights, very mixed with submissions and with his striking, and I think he just needs to put on a really good show. Might be a bit too early for him to win, but he'll definitely get a second fight in the UFC depending on his performance. The UFC is always looking for guys that are kind of come in short notice, put on the show, make sure the cards are still in play. But that'd be really exciting. And then one of the other fights in the card just before Neil Magny and Craig White throw down is in the featherweights. It's Arnold Allen against Mads Burrell. And Arnold Allen is a fighter that also came up for Cage Warriors. He is a featherweight that he's on a 3-fight win streak in the UFC. So he's won all of them quite convincingly. His last fight against Makwan Amirkhani, who's also on this card, was a split decision win, but he was very, very good in that fight. With Mads Burrell, he's kind of 1-1 in the UFC, so his last fight was a loss, but he's going to provide quite a stern test for Arnold Allen, and we'll see what happens in this fight. Might be a bit of a barn burner. I think Arnold Allen is looking for big things if he wins this fight, especially if he wins it in quite substantial style. But we'll see, because maybe a lot of pressure on Allen being the kind of British lad fighting in the UK, and see what that kind of pressure gives to him. Then just before they fight, it's another featherweight contest between Jason Knight and Makwan Amirkhani. Yeah, it's going to be quite exciting. Jason Knight is coming off 2 losses in his previous 2 fights. He's had a bit of a layoff, and we just need to see what he's been working on. In his previous fights, he has been beaten up in the stand-up, and he's been unable to really get the fight to the ground where he's probably more effective. So this is a kind of a fight where he has to win, realistically. 3-0 in the UFC, even if you're a really exciting fighter, it's really tough to kind of not be cut after that. So he's going to look for a really big performance tomorrow night against Amirkhani. And the Finnish fighter, he's coming off a big layoff as well. Actually, his last fight was a split decision loss to Arnold Allen, and he's had over a year layoff. So we need to see what he's been working on. Hopefully more movement, more kind of submission defense, and then so it'll be quite an exciting fight. So that's my thoughts about what's going to happen in the main fights in UFC Liverpool. And all throughout the card, it's going to be really exciting. I'm going to start watching it probably during the prelims, which I think start about 4 PM UK time. So I'll be just live tweeting during the fight. So you can DM me, you can tweet me or something like that if there's anything exciting you want to talk about in the fights. And yeah, really looking forward to it, and really looking forward to an exciting weekend of sport for Liverpool. And I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool were to win tonight in the Champions League, that you'd have a lot Liverpool fans, a lot of Liverpool chatting, and maybe one or two fighters coming out with Liverpool scarves into UFC. So we'll see what happens. But thanks for watching again, guys, and I'll see you next week for another exciting episode of MMA Patter.